And now we move on to a very, very important symbol, Honsha Zishunen. This is the symbol in which the Reiki masters talk about how we can transcend time and space. It has some variations from one school of Reiki to the other school of Reiki. There are some variations which are present in this particular symbol. Don't bother about copying the screen because A, I have shared these diagrams with you. And B, if you'll ask me, I'll also give you the presentation which I'm giving you. I'll just share with you. So please don't bother. Just listen to me, just understand, and I'll share with you. If the books are available. It is only a question of a few dollars that you get a book. So it is more important to understand. And as I have promised just now, I'll share this presentation with you. Please don't worry. Don't think that I have just said it and I'm not going to do it. I'm going to share the PDF of this presentation with you. Okay, so please let us have a conversation. All right. So this symbol, if you have various books, they will have some alterations in this particular symbol. So please do not get confused. Every one of that probably works. I use this particular one, and this has worked perfectly fine with me. Now, if something is happening, say about 200 miles from where you are sitting, do you have the power to do anything while you are sitting here? And we can have the power only if there exists certain kind of connection. And witches used to say that you are connected to everything you can see around you. And I and you are connected with this element called ether. Because if this is a marker and if this is another marker, then are they joined? Okay. If this is the first marker and this is the second marker, answer me. Okay, let me stop this slide and let me have the people's view. All right. So now tell me, are they joined with each other? If yes, then give me a nod.
Yes.
Are they joined? Are they joined? Are they joined?
Yes.
I don't know why some people are still saying no. I don't understand. They are joined.
Yes. Yes.
Some people are saying they are not joined. Okay. So this we understand that both of them can affect each other because they are joined. So if I am living here and you are living there, how can I help you? But if I am living with you, then you very well understand that I will be in a position to help you. So here they are joined. Now my second question, are these joined now?
Yes.
Energetically. Energetically, yes.
Okay.
Well, they joined through your hands.
No, forget about the hands. I had to just hold them. I did realize that some of the people will see the hands and answer that since the hands are joined with the body and therefore they are joined. So I'll do another experiment with you. So these are the two pens now. Imagine, because I don't want to spoil my pen, so I am saying you to imagine that these two are pens. And now are these two joined?
Yes.
If you feel then nod your head.
Yes.
Okay. Now, this is the tea which I could not drink because.
Hello, you are not audible, sir.
Am I audible?
सुनाई नहीं दे रहा है.
मैम आपका कुछ प्रॉब्लम होगी. सब लोग तो कह रहे हैं सुनाई दे रहा है और मुझे यहाँ पे दिखाई दे रहा है कि सुनाई दे रहा है. प्लीज ट्राई करें मैम.
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
Besides, I am trying to record this, and if this gets recorded well, although I did not promise, because once you promise and you don't achieve, then it becomes a blame. And if you don't promise and you deliver, it is something which is a bonanza. So I said that I am not sure, but this is getting recorded, and if it does, then anything which you have lost, again, you'll be able to listen. All right. So these two are connected, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Now my second question is, the first pen is here and the second pen is here. Are they connected?
Yes. Yes.
Why and how? And I would request Madam with the white hair, because it is only written iPad, your name isn't written, but you asked me a scientific question. So I would request your view. Kindly please tell, what do you feel about this?
Yeah, it is connected by the medium T.
By the medium of T. Wonderful.
Yes.
Now please mute yourself. Now my question to you is, you saw that this was joined through the medium of water. Why not did you see that this is also joined by the medium of ether? In the English world, English language, or the English civilization, or the Anglo people, they also talked about the ether element, because their philosophy is based on the Roman civilization or the Greek civilization. And they also believe in the ether element, or the Akash Tattva, as we call in the Hindi language. So if the lower half of the person of these pens is connected with water or liquid, why is not the upper half connected with ether? 100 years ago, there were no mobile phones. But the technology to transfer a signal from the ether could have been there if somebody discovered it. Similarly, our granthas, our shastras, our ancient texts do tell us that communication is possible because we are all connected to each other through the medium of ether. And today or tomorrow, science is going to come to this awakening. You know, there was a person by the name of H.G. Wells. In the early 1915s or 1917s, he wrote a lot of books. On the basis of the fictional books he wrote, then the scientific discoveries were done in the decades to come. He was a philosopher, only a philosopher. Okay, coming back. So my point is, these two things who appear to be not connected to each other are connected with the help of the element called the ether element or the Akash Tattva. And probably this is why, and I use the word probably because if ma'am would ask me to give a very scientific explanation, I might not be up to her expectations. So the best I can, ma'am, I'm trying to do. So these two, we say, are connected through the medium of ether. And if these two are connected with the medium of ether, if we have some kind of thing, some kind of technology, then probably we would make sure that these can be affected even if they are at a distance. So if you are sitting at a different place in London and I am sitting in Delhi, the Reiki master said that you still can perform healing. And to perform this kind of a healing, they gave us a wonderful symbol, which I am going to share with you. It is called the Honsha Zishunen symbol. So you transcend not only space, but you can transcend also time. How do you transcend time? You are sitting in London. You are sitting in London at a particular place. At that particular place where you are sitting today, what was there 1,000 years ago? The same place. There was something else. Do you have the power? Do you have the power to move to that time? The psychologists have found out to regress the mind and at least take you back mentally. And that is called the regression. Through hypnotherapy, we do regression. And that is accepted by the scientific world, the regression therapy, where we mentally take you, if we can't take you physically back, but you mentally go back and visit your earlier times when you were small. For example, the psychologists say that when you are small, till you reach 7 years of age, the experiences which you have will define what you will become when you become an elderly person. To give you another example, if a child, he does not go to the toilet often and he holds his feces, or he is regularly constipated, then when he will become an elderly person, he will turn out to be a miser. He will not form the habit of spending on socializing. He will not spend money easily. Therefore, they say that it is very important that we give the right kind of atmosphere to children when they are in their formative years, especially the first 7 years of a child. And you know, that is I think, largely the reason why. And I think, I'm not sure. Please don't ask me where it is written. And this is precisely the thing why I think that in some of the Western nations, basic education is free. Education from the first standard till the 10th or the 12th standard, that is the school level, that is free, because they want everybody to be educated, because tomorrow's adults have to be trained today. And somebody comes to you with a problem, the psychologist suggests that you have to look at what the environment was when they were children, in their formative years. And sometimes we need to dive in and go back to that point in time in order to heal them. And that happens in the UK, that happens in Zimbabwe, that happens in South Africa, that happens in France, and that happens in the US today in the scientific community. So now the point is, we as Reiki healers have this very important symbol called Honsha Zishonen, which is meant to transcend the boundaries of time and space. So if you know that some person has had a spoiled childhood, then you can go to the child, you can have the person right in front of you, but you can go to his childhood along with him and solve the problem there with the help of what? Honsha Zishonen symbol. Actually, nobody would go, but you will draw this symbol and then do the healing. The symbol has the power to enter a different time and space. So we learn to draw this important symbol, and then I'll tell you some more things about this symbol. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Can we draw this? It looks only a little difficult, but this is not, and we'll see this in a little while. The second last symbol for today. Okay, is the whiteboard visible? Please give me a nod.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we are going to make the Honsha Zishonen symbol. See, this is Hon, Sha,
Sure.
Zi, Sho, Nen. Once again. Once again. First the vertical line from left to right, then the horizontal line from above to below, just like a Christian cross. 1, 2, Hon, Sha, Zi, from below to above, Sho,
Sure.
Nen. Okay. This is the first part. Then the second part, Hon, Sha, Zi, Sho, Nen. Okay. Then the third part, if I draw here, I think it'll be a little out of the visible area. Let me see. From Gita Bandaro, please mute. Okay. I'll mute everyone. Give me a sec. The other thing which you can do is you can pin me. This was suggested by one of our participants, Prasad ji.
I don't know how to pin you.
I'm going to run and draw the rest of it.
Guruji, even
Then,
I don't know how to do it. Sorry,
Sha.
Guruji.
Okay, no problem. Hon, Sha, Zi, Sho, and in some of the schools there is another line here. In some it is not there, and in some it is there. Okay, so Hon, Sha, Zi, Sho, and if you want here, you can here use one Nen. Otherwise, you can forget this, and then you can do the Nen like this. So once again, Hon, then Sha, then Zi, then Sho, then Nen. One last time, Hon, Sha, Zi, Sho, Nen. Hon, Sha, Zi, Sho, Nen. And now the last one. Now the last one here. See, Hon, simple, Sha, Z, Sho, Nen. Once again, this was Hon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hon, Sha, Z, Sho, Nen. Hon, Sha, Z, Sho, Nen. Hon, Sha, Z, Sho, Nen. So if you draw it 5 times, then it will not be difficult. They say everything is difficult before it is easy. So you're looking at it for the first time, it seems to be difficult, but if you draw it enough number of times, it will be a child's play. Hon, Sha, Z, Sho, Nen is for transcending space and transcending time. Why do you need it? Let us discuss a little more about this very, very important symbol. So there is some person who has dreams. If somebody has choked his throat and he has died, this probably did not happen in this lifetime. So why does he keep having these kind of recurrent dreams? So if somebody is having recurrent dreams for the past 10 years, then probably he is not, this is a dream which might be real in some of his lifetime. So try and heal with the help of Hon, Sha, Z, Sho, Nen symbol. Similarly, some person had witnessed his parents getting murdered when he was 5 years old. That thing haunts him. There is also a very important problem of child abuse. So if some child has been abused and then he becomes an adult and then somehow he has a distorted personality and he comes to you, then you have to provide healing at that particular point in time when he was abused. And how do you do it? You do it with the help of Hon, Sha, Z, Sho, Nen symbol. So you use this symbol. Similarly, this is about past, but time is not only about past, time is also about the future. So if we are talking about future, what can happen in future? Your son or your daughter or you yourself have an important examination or an interview. Can you do something about it? Yes, you can. What can you do? You can provide the healing. But in the English, you have a proverb, we will cross the bridge when it comes. The bridge hasn't come. The time hasn't come. Suppose you have to be wounded after 1 month. Somebody has read and somebody has told you that there would be a wound on your right cheek after 1 month. Now what to do? Can you heal now? No. Even if the doctor gives you a prognosis that, you know, this thing will develop into a numb area after a year, what are you going to do? There is a disease of the eye in which there is a progressive blindness. So the doctor always gives you a prognosis that after 12 months or after 14 months, you will lose the vision totally. Can you do a remedy now of blindness? So normally you do a remedy when a thing occurs. So examination has not occurred. It will occur day after tomorrow. Can you give Reiki healing for that particular examination so that you can perform well in the examination? Can you do something about it? Yes, you can, with the help of the Hon, Sha, Z, Sho, Nen symbol. Is it okay? Interviews, business meetings, etc. So this is about Hon, Sha, Z, Sho, Nen. And where can we use it? Deep-seated diseases. Why? Because those diseases had an onset very early. So if it is a case of a cancer, somebody asked yesterday a question about cancer and the cancer is 10 years old, what do? You don't heal in the present, you go back, heal in the past. Use the Hon, Sha, Z, Sho, Nen symbol. Similarly, there are patients who are in a far-off location, then you can use this. Similarly, there is a war somewhere, you can't go out, what to do? Your child has gone to the school and in the school he is having a severe stomachache. It will take 20 minutes for you to reach the school. Can we do something about it? Yes, we can, through the help of this symbol. And now the last symbol, the Daiko Mu symbol. This is called the master symbol, and this is normally taught when you are in level 3A. Why? Because now is the time that I make you aware of certain important aspects. Our body is like a onion. It has layers. There is something which you are seeing and there is something which you are not seeing. Our tradition tells us that we have three bodies. One is the body which you see, the physical body, the gross body. The other is the subtle body. That is the aura, which some people were talking about in our live sessions, the auric body. And that is how the Chinese used to decipher if somebody is going to catch a disease. And in one of my videos, I have talked about the Kirlian photography and how you can see, even if you don't know how to see with the naked eyes, then how with the Kirlian camera, you are able to see the aura of a person. But then you have a third body called the Karan Sharir, or the causal body. There are some diseases which the ancients know they arise from the gross body. Then there are some diseases which belong to the auric body. And then finally, there are some spirit level diseases which belong to the Karan Sharir, or the causal body. Now, for those of you who don't believe in past lives, for those of you who don't believe in the body being more than the physical body or what it is appearing to be, you might ignore this. But for those of you who do believe in the causal body, in a body being more than what we are able to see with our naked eyes, for them, Daikomyu is the symbol which is very important for any kind of grave disease. Any kind of grave disease. We need the Daikomyu symbol. Now, although I have not been into exorcism and things of those sorts, however, those people who have been and who are Reiki healers, when they do that kind of stuff, then they use this symbol, Daikomyu symbol. So slowly and gradually, as you become experienced, as you find cases which are not being solved easily by the medical fraternity, you find that there are things which we still have to reach. Then there, if you feel that this is a thing belonging to the spirit, then what will come to your rescue is the Daikomyu symbol. You have English movies based, of course, fictional movies, where they will explain that in one body there are two spirits, some kind of a disease like that. And what do? Then you take the help of the Daikomyu symbol, if you believe in that. In the level 3A, you are taught this, so I have to teach you this. So if you ask me the scientific validity, I can give you the spiritual validity. I can't give you the scientific validity because the science has not reached here. But our forefathers have written about this, and they have passed to us this particular symbol, and the Reiki healers have been using this symbol, and we have been solving the cases which many times the medical fraternity is astonished to see that they have been solved. So any disease, especially belonging to the spirit level or the causal body, is solved through the Daikomyu symbol. Also, diseases belong to the aura body can also be solved to the Daikomyu symbol. That means that if the disease has not been manifested yet, still that can be taken care of through the Daikomyu symbol. Dai means large, Ko means light, and Myo means bright. White, bright light. This is exactly something which people experience when they get enlightenment or the final salvation. Whenever across the world the records have been written what happened to a person who got enlightened, he would say that I saw a white, bright light. Therefore, Dai means large, great, or grand. The bigger force. The bigger force does not have to be larger in size. In fact, the scientists used to believe that when they were doing the traditional science, when the new science was born, when the quantum physics was born, when the new biology was born, when cloning was born, when genetics was born, the scientific world changed their view. They came to understand the more smaller the particle, the more powerful it is. And that is how the atom bombs were made, the nuclear bombs were made, by studying the subatomic particles. All right. So they work at this. There was a question in our Q&A session. which I answered partially. I didn't tell them that I am answering partially, but since we had not done this level, so I did not want to talk to them regarding the things which I am now disclosing you. So if the problem is with the genes, because somebody was talking to me whether hereditary things can be changed. So if genetic makeup can be changed, if the science says that genetic makeup can be changed, and that is why, cloning has been banned in majority of the countries. And when America attacked Iraq, they used to say that Saddam Hussein has 8 clones. Even a few months ago, in the news, it was there that Kim Jong is not to be seen anywhere. And then suddenly one day Kim Jong was there and they say, oh, this is not the real Kim Jong. This is the clone of Kim Jong. So there are things which are not in the public domain. Researches are being carried out, but they are not allowed. Normal scientists are not allowed to do researches on cloning and on special things which can cause a major problem in societies. Similarly, some person has an ESP phenomena, some extra psychic abilities, ESP. Now, what is an ESP? That can also be solved through Daica-Mu, but what is an ESP? If some of you don't know, then I'll explain to you. So let me have some nods. Should I explain what an ESP means? Okay. Some of them are saying the first
Yes.
screen. People are
Yeah.
saying yes, this is the third screen.
Yes.
Okay, if I explain, if I take
Yes.
2 or 3 minutes?
Yes.
Last- Okay. All right. I have the permission. So ESP, extra sensory perception. How do I perceive the world? How do I see what you look like? Either through my eyes, or I can listen to your voice, or I can touch you, etc. There are 5 senses through which I gain the information of whatever I see around me. Some people have more than these 5 senses, and then we say they have some extra sense. Because of the extra sense, they are having more knowledge. For example, when I was growing old, when I was growing up, there were this Yahoo chat rooms. In Yahoo chat rooms, when I visited for the first time, there were specific rooms labeled as psychic rooms. I could not understand what do you mean by a psychic room. So I entered a room, and then I said, what can you do? He said to me, I can read your circumstances. I can read your environment. I can read your feelings. I said, okay, read my feelings. So he said, you are feeling very happy because you have recently witnessed a nice event in your life, and you are sitting near a place where there is a lot of water. Etc. Now, how is this man knowing about what I am doing? If I don't know what you are doing, how do you know what I am doing? Because they have an extra thing. And that extra thing is an extra sense. An extra sense they are able to perceive. They are able to get. Perceive means to get. How do you get? I get through my eye, and they can feel something. For example, to give you an example, to the best of my ability, of course, is that in Japan, people studied some birds. And in Japan, there are a lot of earthquakes. They are the ones who have discovered this art of building, of constructing buildings which are earthquake proof. And learning from that art, one of our Indian industrialists, Dhirubhai Ambani, now he is no more, he made a huge building, but he made sure that he used that Japanese technology of making it earthquake proof. And in 2001, when a very intense earthquake came in Gujarat, there was a lot of damage and destruction all around, but his building did not fall, and people said that yes, he was the visionary who used this particular technology which was available at that time. So since in Japan there are a lot of earthquakes, they developed this technology. So there, what did the Japanese observe? The Japanese observed that 2 to 4 hours before an earthquake happens, the birds fly out of that zone. It means that the birds somehow get the foreknowledge, get the premonition, get the advanced information that earthquake is going to come, and that is why they vacate that particular area. And we humans are not able to gather because it's a limited we have, we are not able to perceive that there is going to be an earthquake after 1 or 2 hours. So this extrasensory perception, when people have, sometimes it becomes a big problem for them. I have had personally solved so many cases who have come to me and they have said they can see ghosts. Now what to do? A small child, see, if the person is an adult, then it is not a big problem because he will just be afraid if he can see some activity which you are not able to see, because the spouse is going to laugh, the children are going to laugh, and when he is going to see some extra phenomena, he is going to get afraid. However, when a child sees it, then there is a big problem, because as an adult, you are able to differentiate between what is real and what is not real. But a child, he fails to differentiate between what is real and what is not, and then people laugh at him and this becomes a big problem. He becomes mad. You need to solve the problem. Question is, how are you going to solve the problem? The answer is, if any kind of psychic abilities are creating a problem with someone, then you are going to use the Daikomu symbol. You will go for a reading to a psychic person, but the psychic person will come to you as a Reiki healer, because whenever he will be in a problem, whenever these abilities will become liabilities for him or her, then you are the person who he is going to approach, and you are the person who is going to get rid of this problem. You understand what I was trying to say? If yes, then please give me a nod. Okay.
Yes.
So we have almost come to the end, this last 2-3 minutes, and don't worry if this was getting heavy. So we have almost, I have managed to pass on what I needed to pass on to you. The last one was a little heavy because it talked about different realms which we normally do not encounter in our daily lives, and that is why it is not normally taught in level 2 and it is taught in only level 3A. Okay. Now, how to use these symbols? Now you have 4 symbols. How will you use them? You will make a sandwich of them. First, you use a chokure and you remove the negativity. Then you balance the energies out by using a seheki, and then you use a chokure again. However, if you have to transcend time or space, then the sequence which you follow of the sandwich is something like this. First, you make a chokure, then you make a seheki, balance out the energies, then you do a honsha jishonen, then again a seheki, and then again a chokure. This is the combo which you need to follow. The question is, you might say, I don't want to follow this. Why should I follow the sequence? You try and experiment. You can try and experiment. You are on your own. This is what the Reiki masters have been following. And there is some logic in it, but you might have your own logics. So you can experiment with yourself. And whenever you do, please share your thoughts with me as well. The logic which goes behind this is that A, we have to remove the negativity, just as a doctor has to clean up the wound before providing a balm on it or a medicine on it. And B, then you have to apply a medicine, that is the harmonizing effect, that is the seheki. But if the person is not present or we have to transcend the time and the space, then of course Hansa Jishonen has to be used. And then again you have to balance, and then again you have to remove the negativity and come out. This is how we use the symbols. But the question is, do we have to draw with a pen? No, we can't draw with a pen. Then what do? We draw with a hand. Yes, of course, you can draw with a hand. Can we draw with a finger? Somebody asked. And it is there on the slide, see? Yes, you can draw with a finger. In fact, you don't need a hand or a finger to draw in case you are a person who has a high spiritual quotient. Then the imagination is enough for you. You imagine and it will be done, but it takes a little time for that to happen. So please don't feel offended or discouraged if you can't imagine the Reiki symbols for the first 6 months to 12 months. Just draw it with your finger or with your palm. I use the palm normally because I know the palm chakra is here. Although this acts like a laser, it is written in the books. However, I use this personally. You are free to use the finger or the palm initially if you follow my method, and once you become successful at it, then you can experiment with what the books say or what the other teachers say. I've been using this and this has brought me success, largely because of the secret that there are chakras here, and I have disclosed that secret to you, and that secret is not available in the books. Now, you can also use the finger to direct the energy where you want it to go. So if a person you are seeing from your eye, if a dog is there and a dog is wounded and the dog is somewhere in the park and you are in the balcony and you are seeing the dog from a far away distance, then with the help of the finger, you can do the chokure, the seihiki, or whatever healing symbols you're trying to use. And some more little things that whenever we use it, we speak from silently or aloud, chokure, 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 seihiki, seihiki, seihiki. 3 times we do that. The sandwich I have already taught you, which is now appearing on the screens. This thing I have already told you. And lastly, the intent definitely has a big role to play. So where is your intention? Are you involved in the process or not? Or are you mentally not present? That will count a big time when you will actually do the healing. So if a healer is already stressed, if a healer is already in problem, if a healer is already facing relationship issues, then he cannot be present, because he'll keep on thinking about the stressful issues of his life or her life. It is very important, therefore, to do the first 3 things which I told you to do and disconnect with the other things which are occupying your mental space. And after your mental space has been vacated, then your intention will be awakened, and then you will direct the energy to your patient or to your client. Is it okay? So this was a broad explanation of the symbols. And I will now open the group for questions. Give me a sec. This is the